Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where we live in a world where Kofi Kingston will finally get to main event WrestleMania and Odell Beckham Jr. was traded to the Cleveland Browns. It's lost to the Midcard. Welcome to our Fastlane review show. We're going to talk about Fastlane and everything that went down there. And that was the last stop, the last pay-per-view stop before we head to WrestleMania. So we'll see what happened on Raw and SmackDown, see if anything shook out of those that have shaped up the WrestleMania card yet. Got some headlines for you, and, of course, being the Elite, as we are a little over 2 months away from Double or Nothing. And so before all that, first, thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes and Spotify and any of your favorite podcasting apps. All you got to do is do a search for Lost in the Midcard, hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way every Wednesday. Programming note, next week it's going to be on Thursday because I will not be available the next couple of Tuesdays to record. So next week's show is going to be Thursday. We're going to go back to our old slot for a week. We're going to record after NXT. So, and then stay tuned for the week after that. We'll let you know when we're going to record then. You can also subscribe to us on the YouTube, and the links to all of that are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/LostInTheMidcard. Go to the pinned post there. You can go to our pinned tweet on the Twitter at LITMC Podcast, where we also share a lot of the great tweets from the wrestling world. I'm your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at JBHuskers. As always, my co-host, he is on the Twitter at RawF Showtime. It is Mr. Matt Black. Matt, how you doing?
I'm doing well. WrestleMania is finally coming together, and I'll be damned, the card actually looks like this might be a pretty good show after all.
Which is weird because, you know, for the past 4 or 5 years, it's been spectacle instead of wrestling show. So it's weird that this may be a wrestling show for a change. So hey, and we probably will get the results we want too, right? I mean, for the most part. At least in the big matches, so.
Well, you would hope.
God, for the God's sake.
There's no promises there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Our other co-host, he's on the Twitter at NoOneLikeD, Mr. Darryl Bullock. Darryl, how you doing?
If Kofi wins that gauntlet match next week, yeah.
You mean win?
Yes. I'm great. I'm fantastic. I'm super. I'm ecstatic.
You know, Vince.
I'm exuberant.
You know, Vince loves the impossible odds stories. Kofi's winning next week.
Even if he doesn't, he's getting the title shot at Mania.
Oh my God! I thought he was gonna slap the shit out of McMahon.
Like, I feel like he's winning next week, but at the same token, even if he doesn't, he's getting in that title match somehow. Like, even if it ends up being a fatal 4-way with Kevin Owens and Mustafa Ali in there, like, one way or another, he's getting in.
I thought
so. Like, I just feel like it's Kofi's destiny at this point.
to be
winning that title in a few weeks at MetLife in New Jersey.
I had such an odd feeling when Orton came out, because Orton and Kofi had that feud back when Orton was with Legacy, Cody Rhodes, and Ted DiBiase. I had this weird feeling that that Orton came out to stand up for Kofi, and then the rest of the locker room was going to stand up for Kofi, which made Vince have no other choice. What? Of course, no. That there wasn't going to be no storybook locker room thing here. So I just thought that. I thought that's what Randy Orton was coming out. I was like, oh, that's interesting. No, instead he has to go through everybody. But
look, he had an amazing gauntlet already. Let's give us one more.
Yep, and he might have some help along the way. So you know who might help him against Randy Orton. So you already got that one, AJ Styles.
Yep.
And AJ's already been a proponent for Kofi being in that match, so you can almost guarantee that AJ's going to get involved in that.
And there are several people that could get involved with every other person in there.
Yeah,
it's not like it's limited.
It's gonna be
everybody on that lineup has some kind of rivalry issue right now.
These are facts.
It's gonna be fun to watch this play out next week, man. I'm excited. I'm excited.
It's going to be an overbooked clusterfuck.
Oh yeah.
But it's going to be a fun overbooked clusterfuck.
It'll be an Impact special, but that makes more sense. Fastlane happened this Sunday. I thought it was an enjoyable show. It was predictable. Nothing surprised me at all, and I was expecting that to happen. I wasn't expecting to be surprised at all, but I overall I thought it was an enjoyable show. I thought I was entertained. I didn't feel like it drug on. I thought it was fun. What did you guys think of Fastlane?
Personally, you want to go first, D?
Yeah, I mean,
right.
It pretty much was like a stepping stone pay-per-view for Mania. It just pretty much just summed up what was going to happen, or setting up, matches that we quote unquote didn't know already. So I mean, like you said, it was predictable. We knew what the hell was going on, but I mean, entertainment wise, it was cool for what it was.
I thought it was a great wrestling show that didn't need to happen. Honestly, it was probably the most skippable WWE pay-per-view in recent memory. If you just wanted, a 3 to 4 hour pay-per-view with some really good wrestling that had really no benefit to advancing hardly any storylines going into WrestleMania, this was the pay-per-view for you. But when WrestleMania is 4 weeks away, I kind of want a lot more than what we were given on Sunday from WWE. But they gave it to me on Monday and Tuesday, so it's kind of hard to complain.
In the era of the WWE Network, we almost should expect that anyways. Vince does that anyways, He doesn't, he's not getting pay-per-view buys off of intrigue, what's going to happen on the pay-per-view, but he's more worried about the ratings, so to speak, and if they rise and collapse. So he's more worried about setting these babies up for when they, especially SmackDown, for when they move to Fox. So in the network era, it's not surprising that you get these kind of pay-per-views, to be honest. But I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it at all. Pre-show match was New Day against Rusev and Nakamura. I'm wondering how soon Nakamura is heading to AEW. At least he didn't take the pin. The match, the pay-per-view kicked off with Usos against Miz and Shane McMahon. I thought it was a great match. The match itself went about 14 minutes. As predicted, Usos win, and as predicted, someone turned on someone. I thought maybe it should be Miz, because Miz has always been a heel. I think you both probably called Shane. I can't remember if you both called it or not, but we haven't seen this Shane since he came back 3 years ago, so I'm kind of excited. It's fresh, it's exciting, and I thought the turn was well done. What did you guys think?
It was fine. It was fine for what it was.
Mrs. Dad sucks at acting.
Yeah, he was a terrible actor. But I mean, he's not an actor, so I mean, it's hard to really place any blame on him. No. For that. But in reality, the way you look at it, Miz and Mrs. changed everything for the Miz.
Mm-hmm.
It has absolutely changed that man's perception of how the WWE audience views him.
So he's so likable now.
Yes, and because of that,
you couldn't turn him
heel. They made the right call to go with Shane being the heel in this match and the crowd being behind Miz.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that, especially with the new season coming up here in 2 weeks. I didn't even think about that.
And let's face it, if Kofi wins the title at WrestleMania, who knows how long this reign's going to last? Because you know how WWE is.
Yeah.
He might have a reign. He might have a reign as long as Balor held the Intercontinental title. And if that's the case, if Bryan gets the title back, there's going to be a hot babyface Miz
SummerSlam
waiting in the wings to take that title from Daniel Bryan. Yeah, maybe it's
pretty much.
Kofi could end up dropping the title back at Money in the Bank. or something.
I'd
to
give
Brian,
I'd give
and then
Kofi.
Brian could feud with The Miz going into SummerSlam. And we can finally get that feud we wanted, but it'll be in reverse roles.
My best guess would be Kofi probably gets a 60 to 90 day run. Be my best guess.
I'd like to see him have a long reign. But
I would too, but
after what they did to Finn last night, I don't have any confidence that WWE's in the long-term investments of giving any of us what we want to see as far as champions go.
I don't know if Kofi's suit is best suited to be in that role as a long-term champion, kind of like what AJ Styles was. I don't know, but at the same time, I mean, as part of the New Day, I mean, it's an individual within an established entity. You could do anything with Kofi as champion. You could have him as champion for a year. You know, you could do all sorts of things with Kofi as champion. So it'll be interesting to see. And McIntyre, Lashley, and Corbin did a Shield-like promo backstage. Elias doing a little. I kind of liked Elias's pay-per-view recaps during the show. I thought those were kind of funny. And of course, he's taking digs at Cleveland because LeBron left for Matt's team. Asuka versus Mandy Rose did. It was okay. It only went about 6.5 minutes. Matt, what are you thinking about the constant teasing of breaking up DeVille and Rose?
Hate it.
Yeah,
absolutely. Like if there wasn't a tag title that was just introduced, I'd be like, all right, it makes sense. You want to make both of these women into single stars, but you gave them the second best showing in the women's elimination chamber.
Exactly.
You had them start and run all the way till the end. And now you're teasing that you're going to break them up.
Yeah,
like to me that doesn't make any sense. I feel like this is leading to what I said for our WrestleMania prediction show, that I predicted Asuka defending the title in a triple threat between Mandy and Sonya.
Yeah,
and I feel it's going to lead there, but I feel like it's going to lead there and not where, like, I predicted Mandy would have won the title at Fastlane.
Yeah,
and it would have been like Sonya's in there to try to keep Mandy from losing the title. Now it's going to be like those two are going to be in there butting heads with each other.
And this isn't
trying to get the title off of Asuka.
This isn't the first time they've teased this either. I mean, they've teased this months ago too.
And I feel it's more likely now for that triple threat now than ever that we did not see Lacey Evans on SmackDown tonight.
Ugh.
Thank God.
Yeah, but it's a good sign. Because all the rumors of we were going to get Lacey Evans and Asuka at Mania, if that was happening, we would have seen Lacey Evans on SmackDown tonight. The fact that she was not on SmackDown but she was on Raw means they have something planned for her on the red brand and not the blue brand. So Mrs. Sexy Gloves can go in the women's battle royal, and we can get that triple threat at Mania. I'm telling you, if they would have given Mandy or Asuka time, or Sonya and Asuka time tonight, without the stupid overbooked gimmick finish that was dumb the first time and even dumber tonight, we could get some really good quality matches out of these women.
Yeah.
It's kind of frustrating.
Yeah. Yeah, I ran a poll during Fastlane. I go, what's worse, the build for Lacey Evans or Emelina? And amazingly, Emelina barely pulled out 54% to 46%, but it was close. I'm almost voting Lacey Evans at this point because I'm like rolling my eyes at the same shit they do. I mean, now she's staring.
I groan every time I hear her music.
Now she's like staring down women like Natalya and Nia Jax. But Jesus Christ, this is just stupid. The biggest development throughout Fastlane was Kofi Kingston in the kickoff show. Someone came up to the New Day and told Kofi that the McMahons wanted to see him just before the tag match on the kickoff show. And so they thought, well, maybe some good news for the WWE Championship match. Well, the New Day finds Kofi still waiting outside Vince's door, and so they decide to barge into Vince's room. And Vince is like, where the hell have you been? And Kofi's like, you've been keeping me out here. So that was interesting. But Big E insists that they make this a triple threat for the title. And Vince says, okay, here you go. It's a triple threat. It's next. You better get out there, Kofi. Well, it wasn't a triple threat. It turned out to be a 2-on-1 handicap match with the Bar beating up Kofi Kingston. New Day tried to make the save, but Nakamura and Rusev came out, creating a new League of Nations. Hopefully not, but I'm just kidding.
Oh, God.
Somebody made that.
Please don't speak that shit into existence.
Somebody made that joke on Twitter. Oh, great, another League of Nations.
Oh, God.
God, who was in the who was it?
Rusev, Del Rio.
Oh, Del Rio.
Sheamus.
And
Sheamus.
Wade Barrett.
And Barrett, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Barrett. Yeah, they all turned on Barrett after WrestleMania 31.
So Cesaro wasn't in that group. And
No.
and obviously Nakamura was not in that group.
Yes. Yeah, I have no desire to see that again. And honestly, you made the joke about when Nakamura is heading to AEW earlier. I think Rusev's right behind him.
I hope so.
Whenever I think whenever both of those guys' contracts are up, I think they're out the door because I think they're sick of it, and I don't blame them.
I don't either.
Both of those guys should be in the main event picture for either the Universal title or the WWE Championship, and they're stuck in mid-card tag team hell.
Well,
on the most stacked brand that has already a bunch of great established tag teams already.
Let me give you another guy. That came to light. Braun Strowman. This is the third straight. This is the third straight WrestleMania where he's basically in a joke.
Yep.
Last year was with a 10-year-old kid.
I've heard several times over people were saying it's going to be those two idiots from SNL against Braun and Nicholas at WrestleMania this year.
What?
And I'm telling you, I would not put it past them to do it.
Yeah.
That's fucking dumb.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I thought the skit was like the only funny part of those SNL guys that day. That was the only funny part. And then I heard maybe Braun might show up on SNL this weekend, which would be kind of funny if he shows up on Weekend Update. That might be kind of funny. But to have those two jokers that don't have an ounce of wrestling training in their lives, no.
They're not funny.
No.
Nothing they did on Raw was funny.
No, SNL hasn't been
And SNL hasn't been funny in a really long time.
Like 25 years, probably. Elias,
it's ridiculous.
Elias
Braun deserves better.
That was just another thing I pointed out because Braun's been getting dicked around the past 3 WrestleManias too. You know, another guy that should have been world champion by now. Rusev should have been world champion by. Well, shit. I mean, we said that about Wade Barrett. He should have been a world champion by now. I mean, there's a big long list of guys that should have been world champion, but. Anyways, Elias gives us another in-ring concert pay-per-view update. Kayla tried to get some answers from Shane McMahon, and he said nothing. Triple threat tag team match is up next. Revival, Root and Gable, Ricochet, and Aleister Black. Very good match with these guys. Went about 11 minutes with the Revival being able to sneak out of there with a win that they very well needed considering how much they've been getting beat lately. Though I thought Black and Ricochet were going to get the win, I think the Revival winning was the right move here. Pinning, and then there was more a little more of a fracas after the match. Leads me to believe I think we're getting Revival, Ricochet, Black at Mania, guys.
Sounds like it. Gotta do something with those guys.
It's certainly possible.
I wouldn't be surprised if they win the titles at Mania. Be a big pop.
But that means, oh God, I mean, here's. I can't even discuss what I want to say without referencing NXT spoilers.
Oh.
But okay, let me put it this way. If Ricochet and Aleister Black don't win the Dusty Classic tournament, I am not at all looking forward to who the War Raiders' opponent could be at TakeOver. Like, seriously, that might be the first ever NXT TakeOver match that I literally couldn't care less about. So, I already feel like Ricochet and Black are probably well on their way to facing the War Raiders at TakeOver. Are they going to go after 2 tag titles in the same weekend? I don't know. It all just seems really weird to me.
Well, here's the thing.
That'll be fine.
Well, yeah, they don't have to beat the War Raiders though. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. It's interesting. Yeah, I wonder who the other team is now. Trying to think who's on the other side of the bracket.
The semifinal matches are DIY against Aleister Black and Ricochet. And y'all know who won that because, Mr. Ciampa's getting neck surgery, or he had neck surgery last week. Yeah. And the other match is Mustache Mountain against the Forgotten Sons.
Oh, so
and think about the one team that I wouldn't want to see face the War Raiders, and you can tell who's going to be in the damn finals.
Dun dun dun.
I wonder if they're putting the rocket up the Forgotten Sons' ass, but obviously they'll lose at TakeOver. But
I don't even want to see the match. Ugh. I want to forget that match even had the possibility of existing.
Originally, it was supposed to be Rey Mysterio and Andrade in the kickoff show. Joe said, well, you know what? You guys, you ladies are bitching about your men, so why don't I just fight everybody? So it turned into a rematch for a Fatal 4-Way rematch for the United States Championship, which was just even better than the SmackDown Live match. It was a phenomenal match, but no surprise that Samoa Joe retained the title there. I'm wondering if they're going Samoa Joe and Rey now, and John Cena, maybe he's...
They might have just freed up John Jack to face the Olympic gold medalist at WrestleMania. Yeah. As they say, WWE plans change, and...
Shit happens.
The fact that Joe didn't mention the fact that Joe didn't mention Cena at all tonight, and they didn't really bring him up in the tag match.
Yeah, I think
that says to me that Cena's attention might be shifting towards the red brand with Kurt.
I think that would be a great finale for Kurt.
Mm-hmm.
As long as Kurt wins.
Yeah, but everybody always goes out looking at the lights.
I don't need to see Cena beating.
Everybody goes out looking at the lights.
I don't want to see Cena beating anybody.
Everybody goes out on their back.
You don't.
Wait a minute.
You don't have to. There's a lot of people that didn't.
A lot of people.
Trish didn't go out on her back. Trish went out winning the championship for the 7th time.
I mean, how do you think Trish got pregnant, dude?
Easy, Darryl. Easy, Darryl. We'll see. All right.
You guys talking about people being on their back?
We'll talk more about Kurt when we get to Raw. Women's Tag Team Championships, they went exactly as we hoped. Bayley and Sasha retain. How about Beth Phoenix getting involved and the return of Pinup Strong? I like it.
Yeah, I liked it too.
Yeah, it's good.
It's the women's tag title scene at WrestleMania is a whole lot more complicated than I originally thought.
Yeah, I think right now, I think it's going to be Banks, Bayley, Jax, Tamina, Natalya, Beth, and the Iconics. I think it's going to be a full way.
And I wish they would get rid of Nia and Tamina and put Trish and Lita in there instead.
Yeah, but Matt, I asked you.
I don't need Nia and Tamina injuring poor Beth Phoenix in her first match back in the company.
Matt, I ask you, why do we have to have these women in this match? They just lost. Why? And you said, well, you gave me the answer of why this tag team's in this match.
You damn well know why.
She's The Rock's cousin. Yeah.
That's the only reason she still has a job.
I got a famous cousin too, but you don't see me doing crazy shit.
True. Vince was not lying. The WWE Championship was a triple threat match. Daniel Bryan, Kevin Owens, and Mustafa Ali. At first, this was bad for Ali because it didn't do him any favors. The universe booed him. But, I mean, just like a 205 live match, you win the crowd over eventually, and that's what he did during the match with his. This was a tremendous match, and he had the crowd cheering him by the end of this match, and the crowd was cheering him tonight on SmackDown. So thankfully, this decision didn't hurt him long term.
And it wasn't going to hurt him long term. This was the Rey Mysterio number 30 in the Rumble treatment when everybody wanted it to be Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
And everybody booed Rey out of the building. It wasn't because it was Rey.
Yeah.
It was because the person that was coming out wasn't who we wanted it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And Ali's fine. he's going to be okay, like as you said, by the audience reaction by the end of the match and his performance on SmackDown tonight. It really wasn't directed at him.
No.
It was more directed at the situation.
Yeah. And like I said, he wasn't booed at all tonight, so it was all good. Tremendous match, though, wasn't it, fellas?
Yeah, it was good.
Man. And again, Mustafa Ali, biggest match of his life. Unfortunately couldn't make it in the chamber, but, I mean, he pinned Daniel Bryan, so he had an opportunity. Vince gave him the opportunity. Biggest match of his life, and he looked like he belonged. And it was good to see Kevin Owens do his things again, and Jesus Christ, I feel sorry for Daniel Bryan's chest. That cannot feel good. It's like his chest is purple after every match. Oh, I saw pictures backstage after the match. I'm like, oh my God. Becky and Charlotte, which is we knew this wasn't going to be a 5-star match. This is more of an angle than anything with the knee and everything like that. I loved Charlotte's trash talking. Charlotte as a heel is phenomenal. Ronda Rousey came out and punched Lynch, and that caused the disqualification, giving Lynch the opportunity to go to WrestleMania. We're booking a lot of weird shit in this whole thing.
I'm the king of booking shit, pal.
Can somebody explain to me Ronnie's thinking of what she did at Fastlane?
No fucking clue.
She's been she's been lobbying for Becky Lynch to be in this match from the beginning.
Okay.
Just because she wanted to beat the shit out of Becky Lynch for putting her
husband's
head on something to make it look like a dick, didn't mean that she didn't want her in the match. So, at the end of the day, look, Ronda can be, the heel all that she wants to be, but at the end of the day, she still did what was right. And gave Becky the match that she earned, and that she's going to be in the match, and she's going to win, and it's going to be great. And Ronda's going to tap out to the fake armbar that doesn't even work.
That'd be great. I can't wait. I can't wait till she taps out to that. Elias with another pay-per-view recap. Lacey Evans' music hits for no fucking reason. Out of nowhere, Randy Orton hits an RKO on Elias, but here's AJ Styles with the phenomenal forearm to Orton.
Loved it.
Answer received. I thought Orton was going to come out, because AJ came out during the kickoff show. I thought Orton was going to come out and kind of get in AJ's face during the kickoff show. I was kind of surprised that didn't happen, but I liked that we furthered this at Fastlane.
I didn't see any of the kickoff show.
We got Shield against McIntyre, Corbin, and Lashley. Long match, but it was good. It was typical Shield 6-man tag all over the fucking place. Loved it. It all ended with 2 triple power bombs, and one with Seth Rollins yelling "one last motherfucking time." So they had to hit the mute button there. They put Drew through the Spanish announce table with a triple power bomb. Then they put Baron Corbin through the ring with a triple power bomb to get the win.
Can I just point out the downright irony in the fact that a couple weeks ago, Seth basically mocked Becky on Twitter for using curse words in her tweets. And he yells motherfucking at the top of his lungs on a WWE pay-per-view.
On a live mic.
Come on, Seth. You can't say shit like that and then go do that. Come on, man.
I loved it. It was vintage Shield, even though it's not the last time we're going to see the Shield. No heel turn. No heel turn on Monday. Is Dean really leaving now? What? I'm now starting to wonder if Dean's really leaving after last night.
I think that's exactly what they're trying to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to make you wonder if it's a work or not.
Now, is Dean going to turn? Are they just not going to turn him like we all are thinking it's going to happen? Do you think
if he's really leaving, there's no reason to turn him. It's clear that the match is Roman and Drew at Mania now.
No.
So,
if he's staying,
if he's staying, there's no reason to turn him.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
if he was leaving, turn him and have Roman beat him at Mania.
Yeah.
And then whatever. Then Dean White rides off into the sunset and goes all elite. But if he's not, well,
I figured if he was gonna stay, turn him and have the Mania match and then continue on. But yeah, I could see it though.
Dude, you flip flopping back and forth too much.
Yeah, that is.
All it does is kill a character. Just ask the Big Show.
Yeah, and
Pretty
Kane,
much.
and Kane, and Nia Jax, and Braun Strowman.
Anybody that flips back and forth too much, it just loses its overall effectiveness with the audience. So if he's staying, it makes all the more reason in the world to keep him babyface going forward. And that's why I think they're doing it on purpose to make you question if he's really coming or going.
I wonder if Dean or Roman goes to Smack. I wonder if Roman goes to SmackDown with the Fox thing coming up in the show.
I'm honestly, I'm really curious of what these rosters are going to look like.
Or what if the champions
after April comes and goes with that shake up?
What if New Day comes to Raw and Rollins goes to SmackDown? And
that'd be interesting.
The WWE Championships on
If
Raw.
they do that, they're gonna have to change the Universal title's gonna have to be blue.
You think they'd do that?
They can't have the Universal title be red on the SmackDown brand.
Would they do? I wonder if they would do that. Change it blue. Oh.
I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do, to be perfectly honest with you. But I feel this shakeup is going to be the biggest shakeup we've ever seen in the history of this company.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be with the.
There are going to be people moving that no one ever expected. And this is basically coming down to trying to appease Fox and trying to appease USA. It's going to be really interesting to see how this all goes down.
And on top of all that, I mean, UK guys are going to be moving. NXT.
Are they?
Yeah.
Nice.
What do you mean UK guys are? What are you talking about?
They'll move. I think they're going to be moving some UK people over. And
I don't think so.
I think UK people are going to be part of it. Yep.
I don't.
Because based on what Triple H has said in interviews in the past that I've read, it's going to be, people are going to be moving brand to brand to brand, including UK. The UK is just not sitting there as an isolated unit. I think they're going to be part of it. I think
nobody.
I don't think
NXT
there won't be.
There are only 4 people on the NXT UK roster right now ready for Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah, that'll be
true.
You're talking about moving one of them over to the USA brand NXT. I get that, but beyond Mustache Mountain,
that's it.
Pete Dunne and Tony Storm, there is nobody right now on the NXT UK roster ready for Raw or SmackDown.
I'm not saying a mass. I'm not saying a mass exodus. I'm saying it could happen that someone from there moves.
But at the same token, they need those 4 cornerstone individuals on that brand right now while they establish everybody else around them.
Yeah.
They lose any of those 4, that's a massive blow to that brand going forward. They, to me, they can't. NXT UK cannot afford to lose any talent till at least this time next year.
No, maybe it doesn't apply till next year. But I know Triple H has said in the past that
no, long term, I absolutely agree with you.
Yeah.
I definitely NXT UK guys could be brought up to Raw and SmackDown just like the NXT people. But now is not the time to do that.
Nope.
And the fact that they're overseas and Vince probably has never seen a single minute of NXT UK television.
What do you mean? I watched them all.
Very, very safe for them.
I watched them all. Shut up.
Lying fuck.
Thanks to everybody that voted in our poll on what you thought about Fastlane. Overall, general positivity. 15% gave it an A, 54% gave it a B, 8% gave it a C, but we did have almost a quarter of you give it a D or F.
I think those will probably be from people that weren't happy with the fact that we really got next in a storyline advancement on the show. Yeah. If you were just looking for a great night of wrestling, it was easily an A or a B. But if you were looking for storyline advancement going into WrestleMania, which is just 4 weeks away, I could completely understand why somebody could give it a D or an F. I really could.
Being the Elite this week called the Dilapidated Toothless Gremlin. We start with the Young Bucks just getting pissed off at the signing of Michael Nakazawa. Why are they so pissed at Michael Nakazawa? Why are they just...
I think they feel like, why did we just waste money on this guy that nobody's ever heard of?
I like...
type thing.
I like how
Matt, you've never heard of Michael Nakazawa?
I'm not saying that I haven't heard of Michael Nakazawa. I'm saying that it's the general idea. And I think they're actually making fun of the fact that they have signed some talent in recent months that nobody is not a national name. And I think they're poking and making fun of themselves for their roster having people on it that people, like universally aren't familiar with.
Yeah, it's not like they're legit mad at Kenny for bringing this guy in. I mean, they kind of know. I thought it was funny they brought the kids in to say his name too. They talked to Kenny on the phone, and that was funny. You were exactly right, Matt, because the Bucks were thinking Ibushi. No, not
yeah, that. I mean that's exactly what that entire scene was set up to be. It was supposed to be to make you think that Kenny was talking to Coda.
Yeah, and so, oh boy, one of the key themes of this week's edition of Being the Elite was family. Matt and Nick talking about how they've not been home much for 10 years, and they've gotten to be home a lot over the past 2 months. So, enjoying some time with the family and the kids, jumping around in the backyard. And they talked about how they used to jump around in the backyard and with their own little wrestling ring that their dad built. So they said they teased later on in the episode they'd show some clips from that. Sammy Guevara showing up, kissing ass with some guys we don't know. Apparently Sammy's like the MJF of AAA. I'm guessing. I don't know.
Well, you know.
Kazarian was trying to tell a kangaroo a story about the time one time he had the Snickers, but this kangaroo wasn't having it.
I think the kangaroo was interested. He got pulled away.
Yeah, he did.
He had to finish it later.
Well, I don't know. The kangaroo was like eating on some grass, so I don't know if he gave a fuck or not. But
I think he was riveted.
This is one of the best. This is the worst town I've ever been in by Scorpio because he kept getting distracted by all the wildlife sounds. Oh, so they trash Australia. What were they down there for? Do you guys know what promotion they were down there for?
Mm-mm.
I did know, but now I'm blanking.
SCU! And they end it with Daniels flipping off a koala, as you would.
Why the hell not?
Yeah, why not?
Might as well.
So the Bucks are on their laptop pulling up the old footage. They showed us some old footage. Jesus Christ, they did some crazy shit in that backyard ring, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
It's like... in some of the moves they would do, it's like, well, I could see why they're so fucking good in the ring now, right? Because they were doing shit like this 17 years ago.
It takes time to become that good.
It's amazing that nobody got actually, I wouldn't say that. I wonder if somebody ever got seriously hurt. Somebody probably did somewhere along the way, but
on what?
In that ring.
I surely hope not. But I mean, yes, there are plenty of backyard wrestling incidents that go really bad. My friend growing up had a really bad injury from a backyard wrestling event. So, yeah, that kind of stuff, it's no joke. When they say don't try this at home, they really mean don't try this at home.
But I mean, these guys did a lot of shit in this ring too. It's like, can't think they didn't go out unscathed. I thought it was funny, like you said, when one of them was climbing the top rope, he said he had to hold on to an electrical wire to balance himself. That's safe. Yeah, that's safe. And then they teased what to me seemed like an autobiography. Did that seem like it to you guys?
Yeah,
I'd be okay with that. That'd be neat.
They didn't want to quite. They were like, well, let's pump the brakes. We don't want to give the details, but maybe it's a video. Yet. Maybe it's a video autobiography because they're showing us the video footage.
It's a AEW 24.
Yeah, there you go. On the
maybe some kind of like Young Bucks like documentary on their careers or something. That would be neat. I mean, Kenny's getting one this month in Canada.
AEW, the AEW network.
Yeah,
I would love an AEW network. Like, don't even play. Like, seriously, I'd be on that. I'd be on that in a heartbeat.
How fucking great was Brandy Rhodes trash talking MJF?
Yes, I love Brandy.
She held her own.
She was fucking ruthless, wasn't she?
I was waiting for MJF to be at the end, just like, hey, you know what? Touche. I kind of like that. Like somebody else, being on his level of.
They did kind of
assholishness.
They did cheers each other at the end, so.
I thought that was more sarcastic than anything else.
Possibly,
but
and then they called their senior rescue dog a dilapidated, toothless gremlin. Jesus, MJF, come on! But Brandy was on fire. A lot of F-bombs flying out of her too. I loved it.
It was good.
That was fucking great. And they cheers to slitting each other's throats. So we're back to SCU down in Australia, and Joey Ryan says, "Well, Cody and the Young Bucks aren't down here. Can I get your help?" And Daniels is like, "Well, it's not AEW business. We don't have the time." And Joey's like, "You guys have really changed." So I wonder if that's kind of what they're going to go with SCU, kind of turn them into heels, cocky heels eventually, At first, you can't make them heels because everybody loves them, but, they kind of get into full of themselves type of deal. Do you think maybe they go down that road with those guys?
Well, they make a great heel tag team. They make a great face tag team. I mean, they can do whatever they want with them. So if they want to turn them heel, everything has got the popularity of SCU has gone to their head, and they turn them heel. Go for it.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Yep.
Flip with some wrestling action figures was beating the shit out of Joey Ryan when Joey Ryan walked up. Good to see Flip on Being the Elite once again. And Joey was trying to get Flip to help him out, but yeah. And Flip was I can't remember what Flip asked him, but it made Joey Ryan run. I know that much.
He asked him if he thought if he beat him up that Cody would book him for Double or Nothing.
Oh yeah.
And then he took off like a coward.
Then we're in the locker.
Coward.
Then a guy that looked like Brodus Clay attacked Joey Ryan in the locker room, and who made the save but fat ass Masa? And he goes, "Where's the blonde girl, you asshole?" That dude did look like
that's what I thought it was.
Oh, was it? Maybe it was.
It might have been. That was a pretty star-studded tour over there in Australia. I would not have been as surprised if it was.
I'm rewinding it. It's hard.
Somebody call his mama.
You don't get a good look at him like ever in this video. I've replayed it a couple times. But fat ass Masa, look at him stepping in, man. Oh, I just cracked up when he asked Joey, "Where's the blondie at, you asshole?" So we get a look at some stuff in the Bucks' room here, and we get a look at some memorabilia and stuff, and packing up the gear. They mentioned how it's been a while since they've wrestled, and putting the passport on the gear. So I guess it's time to go back to work, isn't it, boys?
Yeah, I'm not sure where they're going.
Obviously overseas.
I mean, this is the first time where they've done something where I'm not really sure where they're going. I guess wherever the Lucha Brothers are wrestling this weekend.
Yeah. England, Japan,
yeah,
Mexico.
I'm not sure the Lucha Brothers schedule, but I'm assuming wherever they are this weekend, that's where the Bucks will be.
Last week's Road to Double or Nothing, very cool. They did posted in memory of Luke Perry, Jungle Boy's father, who passed away. So it was very cool that they did that. Cody's in the office with dude, I can't ever remember his name. Sorry, dude. I think his first name's Chris, but maybe that's it. I don't know. They take a look at Ace Romero pouncing a guy out of the ring, and then they want to bring him into the over budget battle royal, and then they bring in their their finance guy. So Cody's kind of talking about this isn't all wrestlers running the company, and talks about a guy that could have a job anywhere, and he decides to work with AEW, and he kind of goes over all the expenses that go into Double or Nothing. There's a couple expenses that go into this, isn't there?
Well, I actually really enjoy this, and I love
look, this is like the business side of things. Yeah,
I feel like AEW's biggest detractors won't even watch this, but to me, this is their answer to everybody saying, "Yo, you don't know what you're doing. You have a bunch of wrestlers running your company." Well, it's not really like that. That's what you want to think it's like because you don't want to do your homework and you just want to be on WWE's jock for everything.
Yeah.
But it's there's a whole lot more to it than what you think there is to it. And I like some of the stuff they do on the road to Double or Nothing where they elaborate and show you these things to allow you to realize that, this isn't just Cody and the Bucks, running a wrestling company. It's not that simple.
Fucking around, putting shit together,
Yeah. Facts. Yeah, I liked it. I like that kind of stuff.
I like this Road to Double or Nothing a lot because it gives you a business look at the company too. So, this came out a few days before Being the Elite, but it kind of kept in the family vibe. Cody talking about his wife being the chief brand officer, Matt's wife being the chief merchandising officer, how she's in constant contact with the superstars about putting stuff together. They showed merchandise from Jungle Boy, from Britt Baker. There was a new shirt that came out recently. I can't remember who it was off the top of my head. Go to AEW's Instagram. You'll be able to see it there. And Cody talks about how the Bucks are basically the most family-oriented guys that you'll ever see. And Matt and Nick talk about how they chose to start families instead of the party life, and though being a family man and a wrestler meant not a lot of rest, it meant they got to live two worlds and did not have any regrets in doing so. Very cool stuff there. So I highly recommend you check that out. Again, if you don't have any idea where to find this, search for Nightmare Family, which is Cody's wrestling his YouTube page, Nightmare Family, and that's where you can find the Road to Double or Nothing. And they also showed the Bucks kind of being apprehensive about being a little rusty because they haven't worked much, where the Lucha Brothers are doing what they did for 10 years and work everywhere and doing everything. So they're talking about how that could pose as a challenge to them. And so that's how the Road to Double or Nothing ended, except for, we go to Cody Rhodes kind of rehabbing. And hey, look, we get to see MJF, not kayfabe, huh?
Facts.
That's kind of cool. Kind of cool to see guys like him. He's truly he's there helping Cody rehab. He's not really a dick in real life. Brandy didn't slit his throat open yet. But he doesn't think he should wrestle though. What the fuck? And so we still are waiting for who that opponent is that they keep holding for us. Dustin Rhodes. You guys still think it's Dustin? You think that's the top answer?
Mm-hmm.
Survey says. Read my mind.
I think it is, but I'm not looking forward to it.
I am looking forward to it. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it just because of the theme of the week, family. And Dusty would be looking down at Cody's first match with a company he helped build, and his first match is against his brother. I think it's an iconic thing. It's not really meant to be anything else than iconic, I think, and that's why I'm excited for it. So we'll find out soon enough. During WrestleMania weekend, MLW is going to be in New York City, Rise of the Renegades, and they have added Brian Pillman Jr., versus MJF. That's going to be on the New York card. Tickets starting at $20 there if you're going to be in the area for WrestleMania weekend at the Melrose Ballroom, MLWtickets.com. MJF and Brian Pillman Jr. That'll be a good one. So definitely check that one out. Of course, as if you don't know by now, Tommaso Ciampa is going to be out for quite a while. He is going in for neck surgery. Timetable not yet confirmed. But word is that the WWE knew about this even before, well before the call-ups and where he started appearing on Raw and SmackDown. WWE knew about this, and according, I don't know if this came from Mike Johnson or Dave Meltzer. I can't remember who it came from, but apparently there's a plan for his return already in place. So they knew about it and have a plan for his return. So I think that's good on how highly they think of Ciampa. Don't you think?
To me, if they already knew about the neck injury and they already knew it was going to require surgery, there was no reason to bring him up to the main roster to begin with.
Right, that didn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
So that doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever.
SmackDown audience from last week, they got a little bump. Not much one, though, still sticking around the 2.155 million range there. Be curious to see what happens after Fastlane now that we're definitely in the road to WrestleMania. Jack Perry, Jungle Boy, paid homage to his late father on Instagram. He said he was a lot of things to a lot of people, but to me he was always dad. He loved supporting me and everything and inspired me to be the best I could possibly be. I've learned so much from you and my heart is broken thinking about everything you won't be here for. I'll miss you every day that I walk this earth. I'll do whatever I can to carry on your legacy and make you proud. I love you, Dad. It's going to be hard not to root for that guy in AEW, that's for damn sure.
True that.
Championship Wrestling is going to debut next month in Memphis Television, so another option if you're down in that area there. So obviously it was a thing back in the day, and now it's kind of back and going to start up here. It looks like every Saturday on the CW. So if you're down south there, Championship Wrestling will be starting back up for you. Just a minute here. I gotta fix something. All right. Jim Ross on his latest podcast announced his contract ends with the WWE on March 29th, and he met with Vince McMahon and mutually agreed that they're going to part ways. Where's he going to go?
I don't know.
Derp.
Yeah. I think a play-by-play man might be needed at a certain company once they get a TV deal in the fall. Mm-hmm.
True.
Actually, we need a play-by-play man for May 25th, right?
We do.
Let's be real here. There's a reason why WWE out of nowhere in January re-signed Jerry Lawler to a new multi-year deal for a lot more money.
Because they didn't want to pay
They're barely
him.
using him for absolutely nothing.
They didn't want to pair him.
They were terrified of the prospect of Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler getting together and doing commentary again for AEW.
Yep. As we've been mentioning for a while now, weeks now, no surprise, WWE confirmed WrestleMania 36 is in Tampa. Yay.
Crap.
Yeah, I don't care.
Wrestle Kingdom 14, is that next year? Is 14 or 15 next year?
I want to say it's 15.
The legendary Jushin Thunder Liger announced that he will retire at the Tokyo Dome in January next year. So that'll probably be one of the must-see matches on the card on January 4th is the last match for Jushin Thunder Liger.
That's Liger saying, look, New Japan, you got 9 months. Make sure I have a fucking good match at Wrestle Kingdom, assholes.
Exactly. Let's see here. Former Impact Wrestling owner and WCW World Champion Jeff Jarrett has now officially joined WWE's creative team. It's a full-time executive-level role in the company, according to Mike Johnson at PW Insider. It is a move to bolster their creative team. Of course, Bruce Pritchard recently brought back as senior vice president. Paul Heyman is being brought in more and more to be involved in writing and producing, which I remember when he was in the creative back in the day, and that's why SmackDown was so much better than Raw. Remember those days, guys?
Yeah,
I remember.
And didn't Vince get pissed because SmackDown got better than Raw because of Heyman?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ring of Honor and New Japan have announced that IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion Taj Ishimori will take on Bandito and Dragon Lee at the G1 Supercard at Madison Square Garden over WrestleMania weekend. It'll be on Honor Club if you still got it. I think I will still have it by then. I think mine ends at the end of April. So
no Honor Club for me. Do. They sent me like 3 emails on the day it expired.
No shit.
Telling me that it expired. I'm
were they like
shit, Sherlock.
Were they like
this
stupid
was on purpose?
Were they like stupid generic emails with like one sentence and look?
Yes, it was like.
Please rejoin.
It's like to just let you know your account has either been expired or canceled.
And they look basically.
You can re-sign up by going here honorclub.com. And I got that email like 3 times on the same day. I'm just
the exact same email.
Yes, exact same email.
Oh,
and I'm just like, motherfuckers, there's a reason why this shit expired. And I've had the WWE Network since day 1, and it's never lapsed. It wasn't an accident, pal.
Jim Ross on his Instagram account commented on his departure from the WWE. He goes, sad to see how some are looking for dirt as to why I'll no longer be with the WWE. WWE and I are parting ways with no animosity. As I said on my podcast on Westwood One, I can't thank Vince McMahon enough on how he looked over Jan and me over the last 25 years. I will be forever grateful. I look forward to the next chapter of my life at AEW and working on our next book with Paul O'Brien. And join me at the Gotham Comedy Club in New York, April 6th. Can't wait to see all you great fans there.
By God.
I wonder where they got this idea from. Impact Wrestling says they are going to do a Twitch special in May called Salute to the Troops.
Who gives a fuck?
Ouch!
Woo!
Well, damn, Darryl, tell us how you really feel.
I just did, and I'm a veteran too, so fuck them.
What if Kara Hogan's there and right in blue?
See, what had happened was I didn't mean it all the way. So,
well,
yeah. Sorry about
on
that.
Second thought.
Rob Van Dam was interviewed by our good friend Scott Fishman recently of TV Insider about his new documentary Headstrong. Talked about the emotional impact of watching the film and which deals on the long-term effects of concussions. Van Dam said, "I've only seen the movie twice in a room full of people to screen it. Both times surprisingly emotional for me because I was involved in the editing process frame by frame. I've seen the movie to death, but watching those emotional scenes, which were a few, I found my tear ducts starting to sting. I'm actually crying just because I feel so open and vulnerable in front of all these people." On concussions and Vince McMahon's approach to Rob taking chair shots, Rob said, I never knew I could be doing long-term damage. For me, it was one of those things I enjoyed about professional wrestling, just showing how tough I am. There's an outlet for it. I'd get hit in the head with a chair, and I knew it'd knock my senses a little loopy. That's just part of the job for me. I thought I'd be really tough because I could take it. Now I feel very fortunate at this point in my life that I don't have CTE that football players have suffered. When Vince McMahon told me that when I first got to the WWE to put my hands up to protect my head from those chair shots, I was arguing with him because I thought it was I was stupid because I thought I was tough, and he went all father on me, and I'm your father telling you to put your hands up. But he was really serious. Now I won't be cheering those chair shots to the head, but most of my concussions probably come from landing on and hitting the back of my head. So I'm going to be cautious of that as well. There's been once or twice I've had similar things happen since shooting the movie, and thankfully I didn't get concussed. So very interesting stuff. I don't. Matt, do you know what avenues that documentary is going out on?
I do not.
I don't either. I'm curious. I want to watch that.
I think it's available on like iTunes or something.
Okay. ROH owner Sinclair Broadcast Group has partnered with the New York Yankees, Amazon, and several private equity firms to close a $3.5 billion deal to purchase the YES Network, which was the Yankees-centric cable network. The deal was reported by Deadline.com, expected to be officially announced. 21st Century Fox had owned 80% of the network and needed to divest itself of ownership after the impending merger with Disney. So, here we go. Another outlet that Ring of Honor can appear on, guys.
Hooray.
You could watch the Yankees suck, followed by Ring of Honor sucking.
I could watch Matt Taven.
Battle Riot is coming soon once again, and the latest entry into that, Teddy Hart. He will be in there, along with Pentagon Jr. and many surprises. MJF is in there as well. Ace Romero, Davey Boy. Battle Riot was pretty fun to watch when they did it on the first time. Big news came out over the weekend from Mike Johnson, PW Insider, that multi-time IWGP Tag Team Champions and former Raw Tag Team Champions Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, they are not renewing their deals when they come up in the fall. They're going to be going elsewhere. AEW. Apparently, the pair has turned down multi-million-dollar deals from the company and intend to exit when their current deals expire. How about that, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Let's file that in the don't blame them category, right?
Not at all.
I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
Ha.
Fucking Carl Anderson is a witch in the ring, man. He is amazing, and for the WWE to not pick up on that is just sad. And
they've wasted them since they've had them, and now they're getting what they deserve.
the only thing they did right was debuting them. They debuted them right, and that's all they've ever done right with them.
WWE thinks they can stock up talent and treat them like shit and then just use them whenever they feel like it. But with competition truly rising in AEW, that's not going to be the case anymore. You're not going to be able to do that.
Oh.
Talent is no longer going to have to sit there and just say, well, there's nowhere else to go.
Well,
I'm making good money. I guess I'll stay.
And that's exactly what the hell
that shit's done now.
On top of that, I mean, it's not just AEW. The indies are making so much more money now. I mean, guys like Joey Ryan said it himself. He could go to the WWE, but he doesn't feel like he would. He feels like he could make more on the indies. It's like that didn't happen 10 years ago.
And let's face it, Joey Ryan went to WWE. His complete character would have to be completely overhauled, and he doesn't want that.
No.
Nope. He's a famous dick wrestler. Can't do that.
Yeah, he's the king of dong style. Can't put that on a WWE t-shirt.
Nope.
If you're a WWE action figure collector, for the first time ever, Velveteen Dream, Cedric Alexander, and Shayna Baszler figures are released.
Shayna two-time.
And in addition, we got ourselves a Rey Mysterio who looks like the Riddler in an all-purple outfit, a new Jeff Hardy, and a new Randy Orton figure with a beard. And so those are all part of the Elite 67 series that was just come out from. So go to ringsidecollectibles.com if you're one of those people that love to collect the wrestling action figure gear. I was going to comment on Cornette talking about Pritchard, but Cornette has a bone to pick with Pritchard, doesn't he?
Cornette has a bone to pick with everybody.
Yeah,
Pretty much. He's miserable.
I'm just going to pass on that one.
Motherfucker.
Jim Ross has a great Jim Cornette impression. Oh man, it's hilarious. I saw it at the one man show. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson nominated for 2 Nickelodeon Choice Kids Awards for his movie Skyscraper. I've still yet to see that movie. Have you guys seen it yet?
I haven't.
I need to. It looked interesting. It looked like Die Hard on Die Hard times infinity. WWE Shop has a new Daniel Bryan Planet's Champion T-shirt. And did you like the Planet logo when they showed the championship on Sunday? I liked that.
That was pretty cool.
That was good. Let's see here. After March 8th's Defy Wrestling event, former MLW champion Shane Strickland announced that the match would be his last appearance with the company. And he's moving on to bigger and better things.
Yes.
Swerve is possibly going to be the man in the front row at NXT New York. Let's hope so.
I honestly hope he goes to AEW.
True.
So do I.
I think WWE's overall rosters are way too stacked right now, and I think Swerve would have a lot better chance to shine with AEW. And I think the ultimate Swerve right now would him be going to AEW over WWE.
And again,
just don't swerve us and go to Impact.
And again,
please don't do that.
No. I lost my train of thought after you said that. Jesus Christ.
I just had to put it out there.
Also added to Battle Riot for next month is Low-Key, also a former MLW champion. Luke Harper has been out of action since last year. He officially returned to the ring at a Raw live event in Rochester, New York, defeating Mojo Rawley. So apparently he's going to return to Raw, maybe, I guess, which makes sense. I mean, with Rowan being the intellectual equal of Daniel Bryan, it makes sense to put Harper on Raw, doesn't it?
Yes, I could pair him up with the returning Bray.
Yep.
Wonderful. Some sad news. You may people our age probably know him from the late '90s as the manager from Kai En Tai, but the legendary Wally Yamaguchi passed away earlier this week. Of course, he was kind of the man behind the group with Michinoku Pro Wrestling, and then later on you saw come to the WWE, and of course he had the famous line, chop it, a pee-pee. This I did not know. Yamaguchi's younger brother Shun does the Japanese language for the WWE. He's the announcer for them.
Him and Funaki.
SmackDown's #1 announcer.
Doing okay over there, JB?
Yeah, I just saw this here. Matt Hardy reveals the new persona, Big Money Matt. He's reintroducing Big Money Matt.
Big Money Matt.
Have you seen him? Have you seen him explain his new character?
No.
He is now. I can't even pronounce the word, like multivarious or something like that. That apparently he can summon any of his former gimmicks anytime he wants. That he could be V1 or he can delete, or he could be Big Money Matt, or he's basically taking all of his past gimmicks and rolling it up into one character. And that's pretty much what he's going to be, I guess, for the last year of his WWE run. Like he did a YouTube video last week explaining how this character is going to work.
So you think he's gonna be something different every week?
He could change at a moment's notice.
Because he wore the velvet, the old classic velvet shirt. So, that's interesting. For those that still have Honor Club that still hang on to it, they added a Bryan Danielson collection, which, I mean, I've got the DVD over here, so I don't really need to watch the collection. But hey, if you still have Honor Club, there's a Bryan Danielson collection added, so that can't suck, right?
Yeah.
Christian was backstage at Fastlane. That's because he showed up on the kickoff show too. So that's pretty cool to see Christian on the kickoff show. I wonder. It's kind of weird. They kind of front loaded the women, and had Beth Phoenix on in the first half of the kickoff show. Front loaded the women's stories, and then put Christian on the other half. It's kind of interesting how they did that. And then Sam Roberts pissed more people off. Go figure.
What do you say now?
He was just being himself.
Yeah, being a dick.
The icon.
But the thing is, I don't think it is him being himself, and that's the.
Oh, you think he's?
No, dude, this is totally a WWE edict. They're making him be an asshole.
You think they're feeding him this?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I don't give a damn what. I know he says WWE doesn't tell me what to say. Blah blah blah. Bullshit.
You think he's smarter than that?
They don't put you on their program, without telling you what to say. You don't get to go out there and do whatever you want. Whatever he's saying and whatever he's doing to piss people off, this is WWE asking him to do it. Like I said in the last kickoff show, that this is WWE is having Sam Roberts play the dickhead asshole wrestling fan on the panel, and that's exactly what they're doing.
He's like the mark. To all the marks. Speaking of marks, here's a good transition to all the marks. WWE should go back to TV 14. Here's why they don't. Just announced on yesterday, WWE and Mars have expanded their multi-year partnership, and they have announced that we're partnered with Snickers and Skittles, and will receive a significant visibility and consumer engagement across all WWE global platforms, beginning at WrestleMania, one of the largest sports entertainment events in the world. For the fourth consecutive year, Snickers will serve as the executive presenting partner of WrestleMania, which takes place on April 7th, 2019 at MetLife Stadium. So there's your answer as to why we don't go to PG-14 anymore.
And it's not needed to have it.
No, it ain't.
My biggest annoyance about that argument is people think that it's required and needed to have an entertaining product when it really, truly isn't. Yeah. You don't need to be, TV 14 or TVMA to have an entertaining product. Like I just over the weekend I was watching, I think it was the Avengers was on FX or whatever, and I was watching that and it came up and like the TV rating was PG-LV, and I'm just like, this is. This is for kids, but this is also entertaining for the adults as well.
Yeah, there's jokes that go over the kids' heads.
Yeah, exactly. You don't, just because you're PG doesn't mean your product isn't entertaining. It all comes down to the writers. The writers that WWE has. It doesn't matter if they're TV PG, TV 14, or TVMA. As long as the writers are writing the same old shit, it doesn't matter.
Oh, you just said shit. TVMA. Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Gentlemen, we're all mid to upper 30s, right? That's right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we all remember Garbage Pail Kids, right?
Yep. Those things are creepy.
Unfortunately.
WWE announced that I never got into them either. I never. That's one thing I never got into in the 80s. I got into He-Man. I got into the Ninja Turtles. I never got into Garbage Pail Kids. WWE is teaming with 80s icons, the Garbage Pail Kids, to give a new look to your WWE superstars and legends like Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey. They will get a Garbage Pail Kid style makeover for a new line of t-shirts, hats, and all sorts of shit on WWEshop.com and Spencer's. The shop will offer t-shirts for Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey, John Cena, Seth Rollins, The Miz, Stone Cold, Savage, Flair, Undertaker, Warrior, Andre the Giant are going to be at Spencer's starting March 21st. Collectible trading card packs are also available for ordering on Topps.com right now.
Terrible.
Terrible.
Man, that's terrible. What's not terrible is yesterday's announcement for the WWE Hall of Fame, as Booker T, Stevie Ray, Harlem Heat were announced. Not only one of the better ring entrance musics of all time, one of the best tag teams of all time, 10-time NWA, WCW champions. One of the best tag teams, period, that broke a lot of barriers along the way. This also makes Booker T a two-time WWE Hall of Famer. Gentlemen, this is well-deserved, and I can't wait for Stevie Ray to shoot on Dave Meltzer.
That's gonna be fun.
But I'm
gonna be happy.
This was a tag team that broke down barriers and was just dynamic and exciting. I mean, I grew up watching these guys in the NWA and in WCW, and so I'm hyped. But this is more than well deserved, isn't it?
Very much so. Very, very much so. Like, I'm looking forward to it. Like, I'm happy. Like, childhood heroes. Like, you see two dudes from the hood just whooping everybody ass and win tag team titles. I'm here for it. All of it.
I'm still annoyed. I'm still annoyed that it seems like Taz isn't going in.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like in Brooklyn, it was the perfect place to put him in.
Oh, that just reminded me of.
And I'm really annoyed.
Is that the last? Is that the last one going in?
Well, we still think the Hart Foundation's going in this year. So after that, are they really going to add somebody else after that too?
They could.
I don't know, man. I feel like the Hall of Fame's already getting stacked again, and they promised that it was going to be shorter this year.
Well, the speeches are shorter, so maybe they still have a few people, but the speeches are shorter.
I don't know. I mean, do we get the Warrior Award this year? And just so many different stuff that I don't
Award
know.
and what, Celebrity Award, and that's it.
Well, they haven't done a celebrity. They haven't done a celebrity since Kid Rock, and so that they didn't do one last year. So, a couple days ago, Tommaso Ciampa posted on Twitter, Goldie and I are on the fast lane to recovery, and Goldie's got a bandage around the tie itself too. I thought that was funny. Get well soon, Ciampa. What would you guys book for the NXT Championship at NXT TakeOver New York? I think Darryl and I talked about this on the Twitter a while back.
We did, and I liked your idea.
I say Cole Gargano. Matt, what do you think? What would you like to book?
I'd probably do a multi-man match involving both of those guys. Try to reestablish the upper echelon main event of your men's division. That's going to be needed when you're losing 4 people.
Yeah.
I guess they might keep Gargano down there now.
Oh, I don't think. I think they will.
And at this point, oh my God, just let EC3 go back to NXT.
Yeah.
And maybe throw Lars Sullivan in there too.
At least they fucking let EC3 talk on the pre-show this week.
I actually heard he got to talk, but I didn't get to see it. So
he was hitting on Randy Rose, but Sonya Deville cock blocked him.
Oh my!
It was a funny segment. And I hear Lars Sullivan's doing well, so hopefully he's back in the fray pretty soon. According to Mike Johnson, PW Insider, all the trademarks that have been filed by All Elite Wrestling are currently listed as live by the United States Trademark Office, so they are moving forward. Chris Jericho has announced that he's just finished shooting a role in the Jay and Silent Bob reboot film, which is directed.
Oh, God.
I fucking love Jay and Silent Bob.
So do I.
I'm excited. Dude, do you watch Drop the Mic on TBS, D?
No, I don't.
Oh, my God. You know what it is, though, right? Hosted by Method Man?
Yeah. It's like the little battle thing,
rap
Yeah.
with celebrities. Jay took on Silent Bob like a couple weeks ago.
Holy shit.
Oh, man, it was great. And speaking of which, Wu-Tang Clan coming here August 1st. I'm going. I got tickets. Yes.
Word.
And Tool's coming here in 2 weeks. Tickets on sale Friday. I'm going to that, too. Man, some good shows coming through here. I'm excited.
You're going everywhere.
SmackDown's coming here and next month. I'm going to probably go to that, too. April, I think 23rd. 23rd is a Tuesday. That'd be April. Yep, April 23rd is when SmackDown comes here. So, what did they bump Money in the Bank to May?
I think it's usually in July.
I thought they bumped it this year.
Yeah, I think they moved some pay-per-views around this year.
Oh, did they?
I think they did.
I'm pulling up pay-per-view events. Pulling up 20.
Doesn't mean they can't move them back around,
Right.
But I think they did move Money in the Bank this year.
Money in the Bank, May 19th in Connecticut. No June pay-per-view announced yet. Extreme Rules in Philly in July.
Really now?
And we all know SummerSlam in Toronto.
You were all too excited for that announcement.
You were.
Dude, Philly's my backyard.
Yeah, I know. Hey, did you know Impact was coming to Philly?
I knew Kiera Hogan was coming to Philly. Fuck Impact.
Whoop! Whoop, whoop!
That's all I have to say about that.
Okay, Forrest. On March 5th, the WWE has filed a new trademark on Tough Enough, which is driving speculation that they may be reviving the series. Of course, the last time they did Tough Enough, it was great. So, and it also brought us a lot of superstars that are still in the WWE now, like Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville.
Velveteen Dream.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Matt.
Sarah?
I can't remember offhand.
I think everybody else is gone at this point. No, Miz was on a Tough Enough.
No, I'm talking about this last.
He's talking about the most recent one.
I'm just talking about the last class.
Oh, I thought you meant over the history of Tough Enough.
No.
No, it's Sonya, Mandy, and Dream. That's it.
That's it? Okay.
Everybody else is gone.
You mean Sarah didn't make it? Jeez.
Yeah, who's shocked? Nobody.
Yeah.
Damn it.
All the fucking idiots that voted for her, that's who.
The word on the street, though, is she was just a jock chaser anyway, so.
She was chasing the jock? Oh, no.
Word.
And yeah.
But the last edition of Tough Enough was good, right? Right, gentlemen?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I think so.
Seth Green, of course, has ties with the WWE. He's going to have a film called... it's going to actually be his directorial debut called Changeland. It's going to come out June 7th, and according to Deadline.com, Randy Orton will have a role in that film. It's going to be Changeland will tell the story of a guy named Brandon, an unexceptional guy that does unexceptional things, right? Who prepaid for a exotic second honeymoon to save his failing marriage. On the eve of the anniversary, he discovers his wife's long affair and runs away with his best friend to avoid conflict. Orton, it will be playing a character there, so... 3 gentlemen were just announced as new hirees into the WWE Performance Center. You'll recognize at least 2 of them. One, of course, is Robert Strauss, better known as Robbie E. from Impact, MLW, and Evolved. He also appeared on The Rock's Titan Games in its inaugural season as well.
And embarrassed himself.
I did not watch that episode.
He was terrible.
Was he?
Yeah, it was bad.
Strauss is 35 years old. So decent utility guy. So we'll see what he brings to the table here on NXT. Stokely Hathaway was a big surprise for me. Obviously a great manager. He's also been a wrestler as well. I'm not sure what he's going to be brought in for, but kind of surprised to see him head to the WWE. But I mean, I remember him being a manager, a damn good one in Ring of Honor. What do you guys think of Stokely going to the Performance Center?
I'm happy for the guy.
Yeah.
He's a really good guy.
Well, it's giving me hope that the era of the manager might actually be returning.
Mm-hmm.
Because what other reason do they really need to sign Stokely Hathaway unless he's going to be a manager?
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, exactly.
He's a manager. Yes, he can do other things, but his skill set is a manager. So if they're going to start signing managers for the Performance Center with the hopes of putting them in, with talent in NXT and WWE, I think that's a great thing.
I love it.
Because the era of the manager needs to come back.
It does.
Managers were super important to pro wrestling, and Vince has pretty much gotten rid of them for no reason at all.
It's kind of come back, though. It has kind of come back. Zelina Vega, Leo Rush.
Yeah, but they're still wrestlers. I'm talking about...
Zelina barely wrestles.
Yeah, but dude, don't tell me they're not inching towards Carmella and R-Truth against Andrade and Vega.
On the kickoff
Like,
show.
it's totally happening.
On the kickoff show, yeah.
Yeah, probably. But I'm just saying it's happening. Like, I'm talking about, like, the era of, like, Jimmy Hart and Bobby the Brain Heenan and people like that.
Well, they made a fucking DVD about the greatest managers of all time. There was a documentary about that. Yes. So, and I own that DVD, by the way. Also signed Cal Bloom. He's the son of former WWF, WCW, and AWA star Wayne Bloom. He also signed. So they began at the Performance Center on Monday. So good luck to all those gentlemen. Well, if you didn't watch Raw or SmackDown, they beat it up inside your head that WWE has surpassed 1 billion social media followers. If you watch Raw and SmackDown, well, you know by now. Because Vince told Michael and Tom to tell you.
Tell them.
AEW affiliate OEW files for trademarks in the United States. Shanghai Martialism Sport and Culture Communication Company applied for U.S. trademarks OEW Kung Fu Wrestling. So they are working to do some trademarking here as well, doing a little business. This week's guest coach, I guess you could say, at the Performance Center is none other than X-Pac Sean Waltman.
X-Pac, make some noise.
I love the picture that he's posing with Bro and a guy.
Did he have the dog with him?
No dog.
Oh, good.
He was posing with Riddle and a guy I don't recognize. Bro. Oh, here we go. Rob Van Dam's critically acclaimed Headstrong documentary is going to appear on Fight. Yay. How much do I got to pay for that? There's going to be a live Q&A session after the fight, though. That might be pretty cool, the Q&A thing, though. So, but that will be on March 20th at 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern. So that'll be a week from the day you hear this podcast, a week from Wednesday. TJP, of course, released from the WWE. His first post-WWE appearance has been announced. It's going to be taking place at Pro Wrestling Revolver, their 3-year anniversary show on Friday, May 10th. And hey, it's in my backyard, kind of. Des Moines, Iowa. About a 4-hour drive.
And the best they could bring in was TJP.
TJP.
Yeah, I'm not making the 4-hour drive for that. Sorry, guys.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay. I mean, it's just about, it's about the same as me, driving 2 hours for Impact.
Yeah. No thanks.
Oh, my.
Lana,
I'm just saying, Darryl, if you for some reason decide to go to Impact, I'll go with you.
Hey, there you go.
I know you will.
We will endure the pain together.
Dude, I would just go see Kiera Hogan and go home.
What if she opens the show?
Then I'm going home right after that.
It's a TV tape, and they tape multiple episodes.
Yeah, so there's a chance you may see her multiple times.
You can see her multiple times in one show.
Well, I've met her already, so I mean, really, I'm good for the moment.
Lana on Lana and Rusev's YouTube channel says that she's facing Asuka at WrestleMania.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, better get on that. Raw Tag Team Champion Dash Wilder recently did an interview with the Mirror Sport in the UK. He discussed the asking for a release story, and he goes, I won't touch that on it too much, but I will say this. It was lost in translation. There were some things that got out there that I don't think people knew the full story about. I don't think it aggravated us. It kind of gave us, again, we'd like to be angry, but we like to be mad at things and have something to fight for, but it gave us more fuel for the fire, and we were like, hey, we'll have fun with the internet over this. And they don't know what's what, and so we're just going to tell them otherwise. So they just wanted to fuck with the marks, basically.
Yeah, I don't believe him for a second.
Yeah, you don't. Hey, Total Bella's audience rose this week, so maybe they'll get renewed. Maybe they won't. Who gives a fuck?
No one cares.
Raw rating rose this week, so maybe that means the SmackDown one will rise too. Very curious ratings here as opposed to the past few weeks. Very steady all 3 hours with 2.83, 2.86, and 2.75 for all 3 hours. So very
It was
steady.
a really good episode of Raw that flowed together very well, so honestly I'm not that surprised.
We'll expand on this a little bit later, very soon with the Raw report, but Kurt Angle did take to Instagram regarding the announcement that WrestleMania will be his final match. He goes, I want to thank my hometown of Pittsburgh for the incredible reception I received on Raw last night. I couldn't think of a better place to announce my retirement. Thanks to Apollo for stepping in the ring with me for my final match in Pittsburgh. It's on to WrestleMania, regardless who my opponent is, John Cena. I feel like I've already won my farewell match because I know that every WWE fan will be cheering for me. I'm very grateful for the amazing career that I've had, but it's time for me to step down and move on. WrestleMania will be a very emotional night for me, but I will enjoy every second of it. Thank you, WWE Universe. It's true. You know, and I'll tell you what, I'm going to jump ahead of myself here. You know, if we're getting a match from Kurt Angle every week leading up to WrestleMania, and if it's guys like Apollo Crews that kind of deserve, guys that have that ability that deserve something and will kind of give us a decent little 5 to 10 minute match with Angle, I'm really looking forward to the next few weeks with Angle, guys.
I really hope we're not getting that.
I hope not either.
You don't
like,
think?
Honestly, I don't want to. I don't
Nope.
want to see him. I don't want to see him in the ring again until WrestleMania.
Oh, you don't think I'm feeling like he's going to do a farewell tour, but maybe not.
I really hope not. I don't want them to do that.
I kind of want to see it. So, Colin Jost continues to prod Braun Strowman on Twitter, which makes me wonder if Braun's going to show up Saturday. I hope he does and just destroys the weekend update set. That'd be funny. For the fans in the UK, Roman Reigns is going to go on their tour. They go on tour in May, and it's been official. WWE UK's Twitter account at WWE UK announced that Roman will be on that tour coming up here in May.
By God.
By God. NWO. You've heard of the NWO, right?
Nope.
What is that? Is that something like PETA?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
The National Wildlife Organization.
Gotcha.
Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Sean Waltman. They're going to be cruising with Jericho. So they're going to be part of the second voyage of the Rock and Rage. So, pretty cool addition there. NXT this week is all Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. We got 4 first-round matches for you. Black and Ricochet beat the European Union of Eichner and Bartel. The Forgotten Sons beat Lorcan and Birch. Mustache Mountain beat the Street Profits. And in a fucking fantastic match, DIY beat the Undisputed. That was fucking great, wasn't it, guys?
Yeah.
Holy, that was takeover worthy, wasn't it?
It's a great 75 minutes of wrestling.
Woo! And at the end, the War Raiders took the stage and stared down DIY. Of course, we know how this all ends because, unfortunately, Tomasa had to go under the knife. Monday Night Raw is live from Pittsburgh, PA last night. We kick things off with the Shield, given their farewell address, basically. But we all know better, right, guys? Once in a lifetime, last time ever. We all know better, right?
Yep.
Well, if Dean's leaving, it's done. We don't know.
Now, you thought Dean was... We were all convinced that Dean is not leaving last week. Now you're thinking maybe? Well, you got me thinking it now.
I'm thinking I don't know, and I'm thinking I like it that way.
True.
I actually like not knowing.
That's the best part.
And that's what they call in the business smart booking, right?
Yeah, and it's so rare they do it.
Because seriously,
I'll embrace it when they do.
Seriously, were you thinking what I was thinking when Roman and Dean walked up the ramp and Seth was still in the ring, I mean, perfect time for Dean to strike, right?
That would not have surprised me at all.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. I mean, it'd have been different.
That felt like the perfect time for Dean to just go ham on Roman and leave, you know. But they didn't. They just walked up and I don't mind. I mean, you know, seriously, Dean's my number one guy. If he's leaving, hey, go to AEW. You be my number one guy there. I still got to find a number one guy in WWE. AJ Styles, he's not going to be there that long, you know. So it's like, who, you know, be a tough question to ponder. So Seth Rollins is in the ring. Of course, the Shield, Roman Reigns talking. You know, they talked about how it's time to go their separate ways. Everybody's got their own things to do. Dean's leaving. Roman is going to continue getting back into that wrestling shape. Seth has got the biggest match of his life. Paul Heyman came out and said there's not going to be a slaying of the beast. They showed yet another video package of Lesnar. And Rollins made the good point that, well, you know, you beat guys like The Big Show and Samoa Joe and Braun Strowman, but you barely get by guys like AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan. Guys like Finn Balor. Guys like me, Lesnar has a hard time with. So, good point by Seth Rollins right there. What I didn't expect was Shelton Benjamin attacking Rollins from behind, huh? You know, if they'd been using Benjamin more often or using him like to be a force, this would have been a because obviously him and Lesnar have history, so that was smart to do it this way. But if only they'd been using him to be a force, right? Am I making sense here?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it really mattered either way. It was just a match to get Rollins comfortable back in the ring. You know, they had the same. They had the same Fastlane. They had the match on Raw. It was set up to have a good match because, hell, Brock's not going to be here to build the feud, so we might as well have someone else do it.
Darryl, Matt didn't catch it, but I did.
What?
He goes, "Ain't no stopping him now."
I heard him.
Oh, you know, sold him.
What was I supposed to say?
Don't you ignore me, damn it.
Pull out your Gorilla Monsoon.
That's more often than not reserved for your ass.
True. So the attack by Shelton Benjamin led to a match where Paul Heyman on commentary. God, I remember when Paul Heyman was the commentary, and that was fucking great when him and JR were on commentary. Paul Heyman basically he basically admitted he paid Benjamin to attack Rollins. But, the attack wasn't good enough in the terms of a match because the stomp beat Benjamin. As WWE likes to do lately, they kind of intertwine, interrupt, whatnot. So during Rollins' celebration, Finn Balor comes out. They kind of shake hands as they're good buddies now. And I kind of like doing that, kind of the way they do things now. I don't hate that, let's just say. But, Matt, we will hate the result of Finn Balor, Bobby Lashley, won't we?
Yeah.
I'm not even talking about it. I'm going to go off the handle if I talk about this. I'm not talking about this.
Wild card, Matt.
Not tonight. Not doing it.
I like the fact that Leo and Bobby are still together and Leo helped him win. That I like all that, but not for the title. It makes no sense to put the title back on him. Right, D?
Only reason I can see they putting the title back on unless you're bringing a certain demon out. That's the only reason.
And do we really have time for Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley one-on-one at WrestleMania?
Unless you're doing a demon thing. That's the only reason. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that's the only reason logically that I can see it happening.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It was weird.
But you got to defend the IC title at WrestleMania. So
what did you guys think of Ronda Rousey calling you guys bandwagon bitches?
first of all, I ain't nobody's bitch, goddammit. And second of all, Amanda Nunes knocked her ass out, so I call her a bitch and see what happens.
Truth. What do you think of this heel persona promo stuff from Ronda now?
I'm glad it puts Becky over.
True. Dana Brooke interrupts, and she cut a damn good promo, didn't she, guys?
Was that Dana Brooke?
Mm-hmm. She cut a good promo.
It didn't look like Dana Brooke.
Because she cut a good promo? Is that why you're saying that?
No. Matt knows why.
I'm not sure I'm following what you're laying down here.
I'm clearly not following. So
what did I teach you guys earlier about the Food Network lady?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that. Oh, God. Yeah. That guy. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, though Dana Brooke cut a good promo, we all know what was going to happen. Not even a match. She just got her shit beat out of her. She was going to put the armbar on, but Rousey said, fuck it. You got to pay $60 to see that. Wait, this ain't the UFC. We don't pay $60 for pay-per-views anymore.
No, WrestleMania is still $60 on the cable channels. People are dumb enough to pay for it.
You can still use the old remote?
Yeah, dude. They're absolutely still there.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. You'd think that nobody would order them, but they're still available to be ordered. So you got to think people are ordering them, or the cable companies wouldn't carry them.
True. Yeah, true. Because it costs the cable companies to broadcast them. So
yeah.
Black and Ricochet defeated Root and Gable in a short 5-minute match. After the match, as they were celebrating, the Revival clocked them with forearms to the back, which makes us think maybe Revival, Ricochet, Black for the titles. We don't know yet. It's still a little muddy. A moment of bliss was to announce who the host of WrestleMania was, and basically,
so obvious.
Yeah, once she started talking, it was making a clear sense that Alexa Bliss is going to be the host.
The second they said she was going to announce it, I'm like, it's going to be her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then she
I didn't even second guess it.
Charlie Caruso interviewing Braun Strowman, and some guy shows up and says, your car has arrived, and Strowman says, what car? So apparently,
that car in your place that they sell at Target that we want to try to get off the shelves.
Yup.
So apparently Colin Jost bought a car for him, but clearly it's a gimmicked car for Strowman to destroy, and destroy he did. I hope he's on Saturday Night Live this week. I will watch that segment on YouTube. Actually, NBC's dicks, and they pull that shit, so I'll just have to fast forward on Hulu or something. But anyways, once again, they're dicking Strowman over at WrestleMania.
You might want a giant... Oh, no. Never mind. I'm sorry. I thought about the two jabronis from SNL. Sorry about that.
Elias is in the ring making fun of Antonio Brown leaving, but Matt's not worried. He's like, good riddance.
Yep.
No Way Jose interrupted, and Elias beat the shit out of him. Showed a video package for Harlem Heat. Lacey Evans came out for some reason. Stared down. Then Nia Jax and Tamina interrupted. I was hoping for once that Nia Jax and Tamina would do something. Let's not let Nia Jax off on this, by the way. I went so quickly through Fastlane. Nia Jax had the worst botch of all time when the massive body weight of Sasha Banks made her go to one knee.
God.
Really?
I'm telling you, she would not be there if it wasn't for who she was related to.
She's not like most girls.
True. So Natalya versus Nia did not last long. It ended up with Natalya did have some backup in Beth Phoenix, and of course, this is all teasing that Pin Up Strong, Jax Tamina, and of course there was a fight in Gorilla right after this with Banks and Bailey. They're all going to be in a tag match, and possibly the Iconics, which was further.
The Iconics have to be involved.
Yeah, now
they wouldn't be doing what they're doing on TV.
Yeah, they did it. They did it on the kickoff show, and they did it on SmackDown this week. So yeah,
that stuff's not being done not like by accident. It's being done with a purpose.
Next up was Triple H and Batista's face-to-face encounter, highlighted by Triple H calling Batista a nose ring model. That was fucking hilarious. Other than that,
I don't know. I liked the Guardians of the Independence.
That was good too.
Personally,
that was good too.
That was my favorite part.
That was fucking hilarious too. It was good. It could have been better, but it didn't suck. Is that kind of a good way to put it?
Yep.
Dude, I don't know. I was laughing the entire segment. I enjoyed it.
You had a case of the Snickers.
Yeah, I definitely had a case of the Snickers. It was just making me laugh. I couldn't help it.
Any reason why?
Well, I couldn't quite put my finger on why at the time, but then somebody else tweeted like, "Give me what I want." No. Give me what I want. No. I want it now. No.
Okay.
Give me a match of Mania.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
just that damn simple.
So what did Triple H...
that's probably what was making me laugh. I don't know. To me, it was just funny.
That begs the question: what did Triple H think Batista wanted? Like a night with his wife? What?
I don't know.
I don't know.
All I know is it made me laugh. I like seeing Dave on my TV.
Oh, I do too.
So it'll be interesting to see that. It's clear they're doing no holds barred because that way Triple H can wear a shirt and protect his pec.
Yeah.
It's very very obvious why they're going in the direction they're going.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have a problem with it at all. It's still going to be fun and entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'll tell you what. You know, we always praise Jericho for reinventing himself. But when it comes to being a heel, fucking Batista does a good job at reinventing himself now. The spotlight on me and now this celebrity thing. He's doing a damn good job at reinventing himself as a heel. You know, unfortunately, this is probably his last ride, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I would certainly think so. I think this will be his last match.
Yeah, it's sad, but I love hearing that music too. That Saliva, such a good song.
He's got other stuff to do. He's a busy man.
He had no qualms about the security. Yeah, this is for me because I'm an important man. You know, Guardians of the Independent scene. Oh, brother. I love that suit Dave had on too, man.
Dave knows style, brother.
Kurt Angle comes out in some gear. Of course, he's in his hometown of Pittsburgh, PA. He talks about how 23 years ago he left Pittsburgh to go to the Olympic Games. He won a gold medal with, say it with me, a broken freaking neck. Which led him to the which led him to the WWE. He's beaten many Hall of Famers along the way. He said Pittsburgh's always been his hometown. He announced at WrestleMania he'll be competing in his farewell match. He thanked the WWE, thanked the guys he's competed with, and thanked the fans. Angle got emotional and said he's had the time of his life, and the fans chanted, "Thank you, Kurt." And Angle said it's only right that he had one last match right here in his hometown of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Cheap pop. Then it's on to WrestleMania. So maybe now that I reread the script of what he said, maybe you're right, Matt. Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Now that I reread what he said, and let's step back though. How cool was it to have him have a match with Apollo though? I think he respected him.
I'm sure Apollo thought it was great.
Oh, I mean, it wasn't a 5-star match. It went like 3 minutes, but I think it was. You know, Apollo did some cool shit. He did all his cool shit, Angle gets the win after the Angle Slam. We were supposed to have Roman Reigns against Baron Corbin from TGI Fridays, but as Roman
TGI Fridays called him into work, so he couldn't be there.
Yeah, they were missing a bartender today, so he had to go in. As Roman's posing in the ring, Drew McIntyre hits him from behind and then beats the living shit out of him. That was a pretty good beatdown by Drew, wasn't it?
He beat the shit out of his ass.
Drew, Jesus tits. Dean and Seth help Roman.
Jesus tits, that's a new one.
I say it all the time. I guess I haven't said it on the podcast a lot, but Seth helps Roman to the back. Dean shows up, checks on Roman. They both say, Roman, just go see the doctor, God damn it. And Dean sees Triple H and goes, I want fucking Drew McIntyre right now. No disqualification. Falls count anywhere. Triple H says, I like it. It's on. And I like it because anytime Dean and Drew have a no disqualification match, it's fucking great. And this was fucking great, wasn't it, guys?
Mm-hmm.
These guys could put on a fucking fucking fight everywhere, no rules match, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. And it was a somber ending because that was a sick. Was that not a sick visual? Dean's head in the metal railing, eating a claymore. That was a sick visual, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm just tired of him just sitting there just playing with Dean, even though he's on his way out. I'll just tell the fucking story and get it over with. I'm tired of Dean getting his ass whooped.
Or is he?
Dun dun dun.
I don't know. I've been so convinced over the past few weeks that he's not going now.
The last time someone in WWE they actually physically announced that a contract was up,
CM Punk.
I believe it was Punk.
Yep.
And Cult of Personality hit.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, without the title, you know what I mean? Like something has to happen between now and Mania, or maybe the Raw after Mania or whatnot, that'll, show that Dean's not leaving. Like it's something like, I don't know. Something has to happen. Like in Punk's case, he won the title. So
here's what I think. This may not be the greatest story ever told, but it's WWE creative, so you'll understand. All right, so what happened on Monday? Roman got knocked loopy as fuck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Next week, let's just say next week. It doesn't have to be next week, but let's just say next week. Corbin and Drew, they gang up on Roman. Basically look like they want to end his career. Dean makes a save, and it ends up being like maybe a tag match at Mania or something.
I can see that. Because if Lashley is doing his thing with the IC title, then yeah, it makes sense.
They gang up on Roman, and they're putting his life in danger. Dean doesn't give a fuck about his injuries and tries to save Roman, and they tell a story that way. That
I definitely would want to see that.
He's trying to save his brother. But Matt made a good point. This looks like a write-off. This could be a write-off too. What?
They should have stretched him out. Honestly,
they didn't. So maybe this ain't it. Maybe
maybe if Raw still had an overrun, maybe they'd had time to do it.
Yeah. So maybe what I said might happen then. I don't know. What do you think, Matt?
I don't know, man. Who knows what they're doing right now?
You can never tell, man. Like,
that's not
well,
bad.
normally no. The funny thing is, normally you can tell. They're keeping us guessing right now for a change. It's actually kind of entertaining.
That's not a bad thing, is it?
No, not at all. I'm happy about it. I'm just like that. For once, I see it. For once, I see a Mania where you got your predictable matches, of course, like your title matches or whatever. But they're keeping you guessing with certain matches, and I'm cool with that.
We talked about that cruiserweight thing. I think I'm going to be right. Tony Nese beat Drew Gulak, so I think it's going to be Nese.
Damn it!
I think Nese is going to be taking on his friend Buddy Murphy at Mania.
Damn it.
It's Nice and Cedric in the finals of the tournament. Cedric beat Oni Lorcan.
I think Cedric's winning.
You think so?
I don't see them going heel versus heel at WrestleMania.
Wait a second. Colby Carino's in 205 Live?
Yep.
I did not know that.
I don't know if he's there or just working as a job guy.
He was working as a job guy, I think, last week.
Yep.
They showed him, Mike Canales attacked him or whatever?
Yeah.
SmackDown Live this week is live from Dayton, Ohio. I had to look that up for a minute. Shane McMahon comes out to a lot of boos and basically just is a cocky guy, you know. And
no, he was a cock.
he was a cock.
I was about to say, did you mean to say that?
Yeah, it was a Freudian slip that turned out to be the truth, right?
All right. I see what you did there.
And he says that he enjoyed beating the Miz's ass so much that he wants to continue to do it at the sign, WrestleMania, which we all knew was going to happen. But hey, Shane is a dick again. We haven't seen that in a while, so it's kind of cool, right?
Mm-hmm. It is what it is.
8-man tag match. Hardy's Ricochet Black took on the New League of Nations. It led to a no contest because the New Day came and whooped the heels' asses, didn't they?
No, they came out and beat the shit out of everybody.
Did they even hit?
Yes.
Did they beat up the faces too?
I think they just tossed them out the ring, but they focused more on the heels.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, everybody got some. Like, they took out everybody.
Everybody got it.
It was great.
I like this New Day.
New Day was giving no fucks, and that's what I wanted to see them do on Sunday in the WWE title match. They did exactly what I wanted them to do, but they did 2 days later to a bunch of different guys. So,
Yeah. Usos talking trash of all the teams in the division and apparently focused on a couple of brothers. So I think my guess of Usos Hardys is probably happening.
yep.
Oh my God, how good was Orton and Styles tonight?
Might have been Orton's best promo ever.
Orton says he's got something to get off his chest. In 2002, Styles was wrestling in a high school gym with 12 people when Orton was debuting in the WWE. In 2004, Styles was shaking hands with opponents while Orton was the youngest WWE champion in history. In 2005, AJ was getting a tan hanging out with Dixie Carter while Orton was wrestling The Undertaker at WrestleMania. And Orton says, "This is the house that Randy Orton built." And AJ Styles interrupts. Styles says, "For someone who looks down at the indies, you sure followed my career pretty closely." Good point.
Sure.
I did come from the indies. I'm damn proud of it. You know, Styles noted that guys like Orton weren't made for his world because he was built for the WWE, while Styles said that Orton was never would have made it in his world. Styles mocked the Orton pose. Oh, and then he had a knockoff diamond cutter. I love that line. I went, ooh! I let that one out, like out loud, went, ooh! That was good. Orton then said his indie pals ripped off people while doing the too sweet gesture. Styles said, well, his indie pals were all over the WWE. Just take a look around at the locker room. While your daddy helped you get to WWE. Oh, your first year here, you had help with Triple H, Ric Flair, and Batista. Made sure you got taken care of. Oh, Orton says, oh, yeah, I'm a 13-time world champion. Oh, yeah. You had Evolution, you had Legacy, you had Rated RKO, you had the Wyatt family. You had a lot of babysitters.
Sure did.
Styles said he's not going to be Randy's next victim. Randy said he had no choice. He doesn't get to choose. Randy says this is his house. He's the landlord. Rent is due. And Styles can make that check out to the 3 most dangerous letters in sports entertainment are K-O. So good, guys. So good. I'm so excited. It's what we wanted.
Did that.
We knew it was coming, and we got what we wanted, right?
Sure did.
What we didn't want was a 3-minute match from Asuka and Sonya Deville, because, as I said on Twitter, Matt has told me about a great match they had in NXT. But
Darryl was there with me.
Or were you there too, Darryl? Okay.
I sure was.
I did not know this. Instead, we got a 3-minute match, further pushing the split between Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, which further makes me believe the triple threat that Matt had predicted.
Mandy.
Oh, don't say that.
I'm here for it.
Don't say that. Corey Graves is getting a boner somewhere.
Oh, God. Stop it.
Peyton Royce and Billy.
Man, I was going to say something. I stopped myself. I'm so
Oh,
glad
no.
I did.
Say it.
No.
Say it. It's lost to the mid-card, motherfucker. You say it.
I will say it after the show if you remind me.
I just burped on air.
And then you'll understand why I didn't say it.
The beautiful Peyton Royce and Billy Kay did a promo talking trash about how Sasha and Bayley are ducking them because they've not been on SmackDown Live since they won the titles. And they're iconic. I love the Iconics. They're so good together. Becky Lynch came out and said, fuck this crutch.
Thank God.
Which means it's probably not going to be a thing. They'll probably work on the knee a little bit at Mania, but it's not going to be an angle. Which is
Her and Charlotte wrestled at a SmackDown Live house show last night, and there was no use of the crutch or limping or anything of the sort. So
good. We're gonna
hopefully they just toss that shit out and they pretend like it never happened.
We all knew it was a kayfabe to begin with. So, like I said, they should have kayfabed the kayfabe, and Becky clocked Charlotte with the crutch. But if WWE would only listen to me. Becky Lynch came out and said it felt good to walk down the ramp on her own 2 feet for a change. And, everybody sure got brave when she got injured, suspended, arrested, and all that shit. But the man is back in the main event at WrestleMania. And said that the match she set in motion while she picked Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair, and Charlotte Flair was shoehorned in there by Vince McMahon and whatnot. And Lynch said it's hard to play mind games on a woman with no brain. Talked about Ronda Rousey. And then did you guys see her Instagram later on tonight? It's a picture of Ronda Rousey, like a promotional photo or whatever the WWE does, but the face is opened up and there's Becky Lynch in her head.
Oh my!
Lynch said she got to Ronnie, she wound up and did her bidding. That little weirdo. She'll repay Rousey by ripping her arm off and taking her title at WrestleMania. And Lynch said at WrestleMania she's reclaiming everything that they've taken from her to try to give to someone else. Charlotte Flair came out and congratulated Lynch on making the main event. And while Charlotte says she put on all the work, you've been hot for 6 months, but I've been hot for 4 years. That's why I was chosen to get the job done. And Flair claimed that the fans felt sorry for Lynch, and like Flair felt sorry for this past Sunday, but no matter how you try to spend it, you got a handout, Becky. And you've done so little and take credit for so much. But I'll make you guys relevant again at WrestleMania when you bow down to the Queen. And Lynch said, you controlled the division in 4 years and did nothing with it. I've come along, and now we're in the main event of WrestleMania. Checkmate. We don't need a queen, we need the man. And she drops the mic. Good promo exchange with those two ladies. Good stuff there. Next up was a tag team match. Good guys, bad guys from the U.S. title picture. Rey Mysterio, R-Truth against Joe and Andrade. Rey Mysterio pinned Samoa Joe, so that pretty much leads us to that U.S. title feud, right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much frees John Cena up, right?
Yep.
Another tag match as Teddy Long continues to work on SmackDown.
Player.
Holla, holla, holla. Bryan and Rowan took on Owens and Mustafa Ali. Went about 11 minutes. Good stuff from those guys. Rowan getting the pin. I like it. I like Rowan getting the pin here. And I love that Iron Claw slam, too, by the way. But it was pretty cool, I thought, to give Rowan the win, kind of make him a little more established, not just the lackey for Daniel Bryan. So I thought that was well booked right there. Then the end of SmackDown. Guys, I thought the end of SmackDown was fucking fire. You agree?
Yeah, it was pretty cool, man.
Vince and the New Day?
Yeah, I like you saw everything in Kofi's heart was pour out.
Not just Kofi, Big E and Xavier.
Oh
too.
yeah, shit, yeah.
Oh, I fucking loved the interactions with New Day and Vince, and I thought it was gonna get physical, man. I thought Vince was gonna get the fuck beat out of him. I thought it was gonna be. I thought they were gonna snap. I don't know what you guys thought, but Vince basically says Kofi's a B+ player. You know, with the line they used. They used that exact line
for Daniel Bryan.
For Daniel Bryan at 30, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And oof, I mean, it's hard to recap what was said with the emotion that was put into it. So you guys go check out WWE's YouTube or go check out Hulu.
Yeah, this is a segment that needs to be seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go check it out because it was fucking fire.
Phenomenal.
Vince says, "You want your WrestleMania opportunity? Well, here you go." Randy Orton's music hit, and I thought, "Oh, is the locker room gonna band together for Kofi? Heels and faces alike?" Nope. Vince is stacking the deck one more fucking time. Randy Orton, Samoa Joe, The Bar, and Rowan. 5 guys in a gauntlet match Kofi has to beat next week, which he probably will do. You think he won't fail, will he? Or will he fail and give us more heartache? I think he's gonna do it. I think he's gonna do it. It's gonna be 1-on-1. I don't think Kevin Owens is in. I don't think Kevin's in the picture anymore.
Then what do you do with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn? Well, not Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens and Mustafa Ali. What do you do with them? Like, you didn't just bring KO back. Like, your original plan was putting him in the WWE title picture at WrestleMania.
Right.
He rushes to get back to the ring, and you're like, "Oh, sorry, KO. Well, we gave your spot away. We don't have anything for you now." Like, they got to do something with KO.
Unless you put him against Rowan.
And they purposely didn't have him lose.
No, you're not going to have him and Rowan at Mania.
At Fastlane. They purposely made sure Ali took the pin. So
you could make it a triple threat. Ugh. God. I don't want Kofi to lose this because I don't want to suffer through another week of this, but at the same time, I know there's a light at the end of the tunnel, but I don't. I want to see him win this, man. I want to see him win this gauntlet match.
Well, look, he didn't say if Kofi, you win the gauntlet, you get a 1-on-1 WWE title match. He just said you got a match.
Mm-hmm. He earns a title match, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it has to be 1-on-1.
So maybe Vince penciled in KO already for the thing because he didn't get pinned. Yeah. Either way, we're hyped for next week, aren't we?
Yeah.
Those 5 heels went down to the ring, but New Day cleaned the house. And that was just a phenomenal end to SmackDown. I loved the end of SmackDown. That was just great. Oh, look at that. Le'Veon Bell plans to sign with the New York Jets.
He didn't even get his money.
Nope.
Dude,
Did you hear what he's getting?
It's 4 years.
4 years and $52.5 million.
Well,
but you know what? That's probably 40. He probably got 40 guaranteed, and I'm pretty sure he's probably going to go anywhere between 17 to 18 a year in those first 2 years.
Dude weighs 300
yeah,
pounds
but I heard he weighs like 260, 270 now. He's completely over 30 or 40 pounds over his playing weight.
He's like Eddie Lacy right now.
He legit sat out and lost $14 million this year because he's a fucking bitch. And nobody in the NFL no team in the NFL that means 2 shits were willing to give him the money that he wanted. So he took the money from the fucking garbage team that's going to go 2-14 next year.
This is what I tell people.
That.
This is what I tell people. You go to the Jets if you want to, and you think you're going to make them a contender. He's stupid. Because as long as Tom Brady is in that damn division and still playing, the Jets aren't going to do a fucking thing.
Nope.
That's why I was so tickled when I thought Antonio Brown was going to Buffalo. I was like, "Oh shit!" In the same division with Tom Brady, have fun with that, bitch.
Well, it took to the end of the show, but there's your sports break presented by
I saw it hit. I saw
Scotch.
it hit my timeline. I just kept quiet about it.
Scotch. I love Scotch. So this sports break was presented by Scotch.
Scotch.
That's going to do it for this edition of Lost in the Midcard. Thank you for SpiderDuck.net for enabling us to be on iTunes and Spotify and any of your favorite podcasting apps. Just search for Lost in the Midcard. And that way you can know every time a new episode comes your way. Typically every Wednesday, but next week it's going to be Thursday because I've got the next 2 Tuesdays are going to be busy for me. So I am going to be we're going to be recording next Wednesday. So Thursday is our next episode next week. Back in our old slot. So we get to record fresh off of NXT, so that always is fun. And you can also subscribe on the YouTube, and the links to all that on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard. Also on the Twitter at LITMC Podcast, where we also share a lot of the great tweets from the wrestling world. I'm on the Twitter at JB Huskers. Matt's on the Twitter at Raw of Showtime. Darryl is on the Twitter at No One Like D. And before we ride off into that sunset, Darryl, what are your final thoughts?
Kofi's going to WrestleMania, we hope.
Baby! Matt, what are your final thoughts?
Kofi's going to WrestleMania no matter what happens next week, so
Hey,
everybody can just relax.
you might be on the.
I think he's winning next week. I think Styles is going to come out, and I think Orton's going to be the last guy. I think Styles is going to come out and cost Orton the match.
Oh, that
I think
pop!
Kofi's going to win.
That pop when Styles comes out. Ooh, when
look, it's going to be great. But if for some reason he doesn't win, he's still going to Mania. He's still getting the title shot. Don't overthink this one, guys. Like the end of this story is going to be a good one.
Let me give you a final thought. I don't know if this was WrestleMania. I think it was. I think it was 6 years. Was New York 6 years ago?
Yeah, 29.
6 years ago. We'll leave you with this. Kofi Kingston was on the panel of the kickoff show. He might be leaving WWE champion 6 years later.
Ba-doonch.
For Matt Black, Darryl Bullock, this is Jeremy Bennett. Thank you for tuning in to Lost in the Midcard. We will catch you next week. It'll be Thursday, so keep an eye on that new episode. Have a good one.